You know, Wall Street's a pretty wild place. It's maybe the only place on Earth where a guy with a PhD in quantum physics and another guy who, let's just say, eats crayons for breakfast, can come together and be united by one single sacred truth.
And that's it. This is the great equalizer, the one thing that brings everyone together. So with that beautiful chaos in mind, let's break down the 6 main species of investor you're going to find out there in the wild.
All right, first up on our tour, the true believers. Now this pair operates on pure, unshakable faith. Their philosophies couldn't be more different, but their conviction, it's identical.
In this corner, you've got the classic value investor. He's all about fundamentals, intrinsic value, you know the deal. And in the other corner, the modern hustle bro, whose whole financial worldview seems to be based on a motivational poster. So let's see who's got the edge, or at the very least, who's less annoying at a party.
Okay, let's paint a picture of the value investor. This guy is a creature of habit. I'm talking 400 hours analyzing a single 10K, fueled by nothing but lukewarm coffee and a weirdly intense passion for moats and compound growth. He's basically the human equivalent of watching paint dry, but with spreadsheets.
And here's the best part. If you ever ask him how his portfolio's doing, this is the line you'll get. Every single time. It's just a very polite way of saying he's been losing to a simple S&P 500 index fund since like the Bush administration.
And on the complete other end of the spectrum, meet the hustle bro. His morning isn't complete without an ice bath and a motivational podcast yelling in his ears. He calls it meditation, but let's be real, he's just psyching himself up, probably wishing he was a trader back in the 90s.
Ask this guy about his investment strategy, and he'll hit you with the best investment you can make is in yourself. Which sounds great, right? But what he actually means by diversified income looks a whole lot more like this. You see, he's not really trying to beat the market. He's mostly just trying to beat his charges.
All right, moving on to our next couple of characters, the pattern seekers. These are the folks who spend all day, every day, staring into the abyss of charts and data, just praying for a sign, a signal, some kind of prophecy hidden in all that noise. So on one side, you have the technical analyst, who genuinely treats stock charts like they're his personal canvas for creating masterpieces. And on the other, you have the perma-bear, who's convinced every single market rally is just the opening scene of a disaster movie, probably because he's watched The Big Short about 800 times. I mean, the technical analyst is living in a different reality from the rest of us. We're talking 12 monitors, seeing bull flags in the foam of his morning coffee. He speaks in a language of head and shoulders and Fibonacci retracements. And don't even think about mentioning fundamentals to him. That stuff is for boomers.
You have to understand, he doesn't do due diligence. No, he creates art. His hero isn't Warren Buffett, it's Pablo Picasso. So seriously, don't mess with his trend lines.
Then you've got the perma-bear. Ever since that movie became his holy text, he has been wrong. Well, let's just say about 137 times in a row. But has that shaken his faith? Not one bit. He is absolutely 100% convinced that the big one is coming any day now.
And that's because for him, this is the entire point. He doesn't just want to be rich. He secretly wants to see the whole system burn, just so he can stand there in the ashes of the global economy and whisper those 4 magical words, "It's all for the validation."
And that brings us to our final and, let's be honest, most chaotic pairing, the modern gamblers. For these guys, the market is not about research, it's not about patience, it's a casino, and they are here to push all their chips in all the time. So, in this corner, we have the crypto degen, a guy who went big on a meme coin with a, shall we say, memorable name. And in the other corner, the Wall Street bets trader, whose entire plan for retirement is to YOLO his savings on weekly options that expire in 3 days.
So the story of the crypto degen is really a modern tragedy in 3 acts. Act 1 starts with this incredible meteoric rise. He was a genius. He got in early. He was already picking out colors for his future Lamborghini.
And then, Act 2, the rug pull. His entire fortune wiped out by a meme coin called, and I promise I'm not making this up, fart coin. And just like that, poof, the dream was gone.
So how does he cope with this total financial annihilation? Well, he calls it a learning experience, of course. He now lives in a van to be more off-grid. He owns 12 NFTs of pixelated animals, and he'll tell anyone who listens that fiat currency is a total scam, all while using his mom's Venmo to buy gas.
And the Wall Street Bets trader. Oh, he's thriving. He lives on a steady diet of Monster energy drinks and pure adrenaline. In his mind, catastrophic losses aren't losses, they're battle scars. And any kind of long-term financial planning, that's for cowards. His plan for generational wealth is to just blame market manipulation every Friday when his options expire worthless.
Whew, okay. After that very wild ride through the Wall Street Zoo, let's try to pull it all together. What's the one thing that connects all these people? Seriously, think about it. We've met the guy in beige khakis, the cold-plunging hustler, the chart artist, the doomsday prepper, the crypto casualty, and the options gambler. After seeing all these competing strategies, what's the grand takeaway?
That's right. It doesn't matter if you're reading 100-year-old books like they're scripture, or if you're betting your rent money on a chart pattern that looks like an inverted frog. It all just boils down to the same beautiful, chaotic truth.
And that brings us right back to where we started. Because despite all the complex systems, all the confident theories, and all the bravado, this is the one universal constant in finance. And you know what? Just accepting that might be the smartest investment you could ever make.